Hello everyone, happy Friday. I'm Chief Meteorologist Melissa Frey here at Alaska's News Source. And first of all, I just want to say happy Friday, but I also want to get you up to speed on the weekend forecast. We haven't had a lot of opportunity to do any great winter recreation, so I want to give you the spots where maybe that will actually be possible this weekend, but also a heads up on a couple storms that will be impacting some areas. We do have new watches and warnings in effect as the next storm system makes its way up here the West Coast. So as always, if you are watching on Facebook, pop in the comments, let me know where are you watching from, what are the weather conditions like where you are, and if you have any questions about the forecast, hopefully I can answer those. Hello to you there, Twisters. Hello, Brenda from Peters Creek. Thanks for joining us here this evening, and hopefully we'll get you up to speed. Is anyone else happy that it's Friday and the weekend is around the corner? It's been kind of a crazy weather week, of course, starting with that historic wind storm that we had on Sunday. I know a lot of you just recently getting power back. I know a lot of you still cleaning up and dealing with the damage and the debris that came from that storm. So hopefully you have the resources and the help that you need if you are in that boat. The Muni actually just put up a survey on their website asking people if they've had damage. They're sort of collecting that information to see just how widespread and how bad the damage was. If you did have it damage, you can contribute to their survey by going to alaskasnewssource.com. We have that story on our website. Hello to you in Dillingham. Nice to see you. Hey, Kayleen and Palmer. And yeah, great. Glad that you guys are joining me here tonight. Okay, let's take a look at that forecast. First of all, I just have to start with something really positive. Ketchikan has seen non-stop rain and wind this winter. Warm temperatures, at times snow, but really just a lot of wet weather. But not today. Sunrise coming up about 7:30, shining bright on the city there. Look how beautiful it was in Ketchikan. Gorgeous conditions. You can see a little bit of fog, but a lot of sunshine, and then just a really beautiful sunset there tonight with temperatures settling down into the mid-30s. So lovely conditions in Southeast, and you're going to see another day like that as well. We have continued to see wet conditions in South Central. Today, dry conditions. And actually, as you look back to the past 4 days, we have seen dry conditions in Anchorage, sort of a shift from where we were earlier in the month. But temperature-wise, we have seen some extreme conditions. It's up, it's down, and it's up again in Fairbanks. Again, starting the month with those cooler conditions. And then again, we'll see if that will go back for you. Doesn't look like it's going to go back, but we have seen, again, a cooler start and then that warm up, cool for one day and then back warm again as temperatures continue to increase now across the interior. 11 degrees in Fairbanks. That's where we've seen the sunshine, and that's where we have also seen the northern lights this week. Up on the slope, pretty quiet conditions for you for the moment. 1 in Ukqiavik, 19 below in Dead Horse. Out west, we are again tracking that winter weather. A little bit of a break for you tonight in Bethel, and the front just passing over Nome, but still come down pretty hard in Kotzebue. Anyone watching from Kotzebue, Nome, Bethel? I'd love to hear what conditions have been like for you. Also, we've had blizzard warnings in effect for Savunga today. Down in St. Paul, we've seen heavy rain, and then also seen that heavy rain and wind through the Aleutians. So again, another storm is on the way for the western side of the state, and that's probably the reason that we're seeing that boost in temperatures. Again, all the way down the west coast, 10 to 30 degrees warmer than it was 24 hours ago. So again, seeing that real boost because of these storms moving in out of the south, which has been the case so far this winter. It's just been a parade of storm after storm after storm, bringing again those warm and wet conditions to western Alaska. If you heard our reports yesterday, there is some concerns for the Iditarod and potentially the Iron Dog because of that warm weather deteriorating the trail conditions that we expect going into February and March. So we do have new reports on that also at alaskasnewssource.com. I break down how much snow and what the current conditions are like. Check out that if you're curious on that Iditarod or Iron Dog weather. Of course, bummer news for the Kuskokwim 300 that was delayed because of the warm conditions, and it was another 18 degrees increase there in Bethel today, along with those high winds to 32 miles per per hour in Bethel. Further south, even stronger. You see that area of low pressure that's centered there just to the east of Unalaska. Peak wind gusts so far tonight in Cold Bay, 53 miles per hour. And then we've been seeing those strong winds up the west coast. Unalakleet at 51 miles per hour today and 59 in Kotzebue. And that's why we're seeing the blizzard conditions there. Now, the outer edge of that storm brought a little rain, snow rain mix to Homer, Seward, up into Portage today. None of that impacting Kenai, Anchorage, or the valley, and I don't expect it to for at least the next 24 hours. But look at how wet it was in Kodiak today. An inch of rain. Also seeing wet conditions now through the Aleutians. No more than a quarter of an inch of liquid water, but of course that's falling frozen, and so we are seeing snowfall there all the way up into Kotzebue today. So we do still have those high wind, the winds impacting the winter storm warnings, the winter weather advisories, blizzard warnings in effect there. Again, from Norton Sound across Seward Peninsula into the Baldwin Peninsula, you want to be prepared for that continuing most of Saturday. So that will likely continue to impact travel conditions there. We also have another round of potential coastal flooding for the Kuskokwim Delta, and that is because of those high winds. The winds in that area just literally push the ocean surface inland into the delta, and then that's why we see some flooding. So again, that potential tomorrow. So looking ahead, again, this next round pushing north, Seward Peninsula, heavy snow again tomorrow, but temperatures are going to warm even further with this storm, and so that is why we will likely see some rain mixing in Nome tomorrow. But that storm's pretty much going to stay out west. We do, however, have another one that's going to push across the Pacific and the Gulf of Alaska that will bring wet conditions again to south central Saturday. You'll see a wintry mix again in Homer, Seward, and Prince William Sound. But as that pushes north and we get a little front pushing in here out of the west, and that's going to increase our chances for snow in Anchorage and the valley. Again, something we haven't seen in a little while. It's been about a week since we've seen any snow here, and there just have only been 5 days this entire season with an inch or more of snow in Anchorage. So looking like right now about a half an inch to 3 inches is the potential. I'll continue to refine that as that gets closer, but do be prepared for snow on Sunday in Anchorage and the valley, especially pushing into the second half of the day. I know all of you skiers and snowboarders probably itching to get out there in some fresh powder. So I'm really hopeful that this storm does bring, again, some snow to Anchorage and the valley, at least something to clean up those trails a little bit. And then also out into Girdwood, we saw snow yesterday. We're going to see snow again tomorrow and again on Sunday. So Alyeska getting some nice snow as well. That storm system moves on Monday afternoon. We get a nice little break Tuesday, and then later in the week we'll see another one pushing in out of the southwest. As for those of you in southeast, anyone watching from southeast, you're going to see a little light snow to the north tomorrow. Temperatures will be in the low to mid 30s for you. And further south, still dry in Ketchikan at 37, but a little wintry mix in the morning possible in Petersburg, also into Sitka, where those winds will be to about 30 miles per hour. Michelle, I'm with you. Hopefully enough snow for the Iditarod. We have some time. We've got, 42 days, if I'm counting right at this point. So hopefully things kind of turn around once we get into February. For the interior, that's where the sunshine is. That's where the clearing is. If you've been missing the sun, man, take a day in Fairbanks. Beautiful there. 4 degrees to start, 18 to finish. We are still seeing those high winds in Delta Junction and in Healy, gusts to 55 miles per hour there tomorrow. For those of you on the slope, pretty quiet conditions out west in Wainwright. You'll see some snow pushing in, and we'll of course continue to see that snow and wind all the way down the west coast. But look at these temperatures, pretty different than what we saw today. Up to 35 degrees in Nome, so a little rain mixing in there. Drier conditions in McGrath. Also likely seeing rain in Bethel tomorrow, mid-30s overnight with high temperatures in the upper 30s. It's all rain in Dillingham, all rain in Cold Bay. St. Paul seeing the rain tomorrow. Wet conditions in Unalaska and Adak, just a little wintry mix there in the morning. Now across South Central, still wet and windy in Kodiak tomorrow. Homer and Seward, be prepared for the wintry mix. More rain than snow tomorrow because those temperatures will push back into the 40s. Drier in Kenai and Soldotna, but we will see wet conditions again in Whittier. Snow rain mix for you. Mostly snow in Valdez, the snow rain mix in Cordova, but drier conditions as you head north into the Copper River Basin. In the valley, we will see mostly cloudy skies tomorrow. Temperatures start out in the teens and 20s, so staying well below freezing tonight, but temperatures will be right at about that freezing mark in Palmer and in Wasilla tomorrow. For those of you in Anchorage, temperatures fall to the mid-20s overnight, 32 for the high temperature. Pretty pleasant Saturday. If you are headed down to Girdwood to hit those slopes, some fresh snow again tomorrow. Hopefully will be some nice skiing and snowboarding there. High temperatures will be in the mid-30s, so warmer at the base, but again, at least not too warm, not too windy. And looking ahead to the rest of this week, again, we get that chance for, I put a wintry mix Sunday and Monday because those temperatures do push above freezing. Right now, though, looks like that time above freezing will be short enough that this would still be a mostly snow event. Again, it's Sunday night into Monday. It's not much. If this were a typical winter, I would hardly even talk about it, but it's been so few and far between that we've seen the snow this season. I want to give you that heads up. Again, about a ½ inch to 3 inches for the holiday weekend. And then next week looks pretty pleasant. It is warmer, mid-30s during the day, mid-20s overnight. And then we have one more chance for snow heading into Friday. For those of you across the interior, also seeing chances for some light snow Sunday and Monday, and your temperatures also warming back into those mid-20s. And then another chance for snow there on Thursday, but warmer than usual temperatures, and that's going to continue to go. I hear snow in Georgia and rain in Wasilla. Yeah, isn't that funny? Actually, I was just looking at the conditions out east. They have extreme cold watches in effect for the upper Midwest, which you expect that for the Dakotas and Minnesota, but even down into the Ohio River Valley, we're looking at sub-zero air temperatures with those wind chill values dropping to around 20 below. So if you have any friends or family out in Ohio, into Cincinnati or across the upper Midwest, you can brag that we have warmer conditions here in Alaska. They're also going to see snow across the East Coast. New York, Pennsylvania seeing 5 to 8 inches of snow heading into early next week. So that pretty much does it for the forecast here tonight. If you have any questions, keep them going in the chat. I'll take a look at that here tonight. Otherwise, you can get again the latest forecast always at alaskasnewssource.com with our weather app as well. And hey, if you're out and about this weekend, you're doing some skiing, some sledding, some snowboarding, anything that has to do with winter ice skating, throw those pictures and videos on alaskasnewssource.com or our app. I would love to see it just flooded with fun winter activities because we just haven't had much of that, at least in the past couple of months so far. So hope you have a great rest of your Friday night. We'll see you on the news coming up here in just about 10 minutes on Alaska's News Source. Good night.